This review is made possible by Gerald Nissan of Naperville. Gerald Nissan has an impressive inventory of both new and used cars for you to choose from. With top-notch customer service, Gerald Nissan of Naperville is ready to help you find the right car for your lifestyle. Visit GeraldNissanNaperville.com or in person at their location on Ogden Avenue in Naperville, Illinois.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2018 Nissan Rogue SL. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline-4 and down below is a CVT transmission. And if you'd like to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive where I'll be writing a complete article about the 2018 Rogue. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter inline-4. Well, it's good for about 170 horsepower and honestly, that's all you really need out of an SUV like this. I was surprised that it's a 4-cylinder, but after driving it for a little bit here, I'm not disappointed by the power by any means. You put your foot in it, it still goes. Alright, so fortunately I have the opportunity to use Nissan's test track, so we are going to put our foot flat into it and then stand on the brakes. Ready, set, go. Wow. That's so crazy. Likewise, the CVT I've had no issues with. CVTs for a little while there were kind of not the best. I drove a 2010 Subaru Forester with a CVT and it felt very alien. It felt very weird. But they've gotten CVTs to the point where they feel like regular transmissions, and that's huge. One of the first things I noticed when I got into the Rogue was just how light the steering is. The steering is so light. I can't get over it. It probably is one of the lightest steering racks I've ever dealt with in any review or any car that I've driven. And that's saying a lot that this is a mid-size SUV. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two very plain gauges, which I really like. They're very simple, they're easy to read at a glance, and I think that's really important. In the middle is a center screen displaying the road in front of me, and we'll get to that a little bit later. On the steering wheel, I have my cruise control options, audio options, Bluetooth phone, all of that good stuff. In the center, there's a infotainment center. Down below that, you have your AC and heating options. Then you have your parking brake, your auto hold. So the auto hold is either for hills, for hill starts so you don't roll or whatnot, or it's for when you're sitting in traffic, you can just hit the button and your car won't move. The nice thing about this auto holding brake is I've been driving around with it for quite some time now, and at a stop, it'll hold it. But when I get back on the gas, it doesn't feel like I'm hitting the gas and the brake at the same time. It doesn't feel like I'm braking something. Then, of course, you have the shifter, which it's an automatic, but you can plus minus if you'd like to do that. Then you have your cup holders and your heated seat options. One thing that is interesting is down below in front of the shifter, there's a USB and an aux cord port, which I've started to notice is going away in vehicles, so I'm really glad that Nissan's keeping that. And as you'll notice, this interior is a really cool two-tone. It's black and like a brownish, almost caramel color. I really am a fan of this interior though. So this specific Rogue has a Platinum Reserve interior package, which means that the seats are almost this like quilted design, and I think they look really good. I think this is a really good looking interior, which is interesting because all of the past Nissans that I've reviewed, I've always loved the way they drove. I love the features and all this stuff, but I always thought that their interiors were a little lackluster at best. And this is really proving me wrong because I really am a big fan of this interior. The driving position is very comfortable. I think the seats are super nice. Oh, and that's the lane departure warning me that I just went over the yellow line. Oh, and we got some geese. Now the Rogue is a 2-row SUV. It does not have that third row. But that being said, the rear is actually pretty spacious. All right, so actually sitting in the back here, it's still plastic, it's still a new car, but it's actually really comfortable. You actually sit a little bit higher up than the driver. I don't know if you could tell how much higher my head is than this headrest. So it kind of almost feels like stadium seating, like you're in like Wrigley Field or something, which is really nice and would be really nice for conversations between the driver and passengers and that sort of thing. Pretty comfortable. The quilted features carry on to back here, that quilted leather that we were talking about. The trunk size is actually pretty good. I don't get many features back here, but I do get my own vents, which is huge. My Pontiac G6 does not have vents for the rear passengers, and that sucks. But overall, it's actually really nice back here. I'm really digging that stadium seating. Now, you guys know me. You guys know that I love sunroofs, and the Rogue actually has a pretty big sunroof. So let's open that up. So then the whole first section actually opens up, and there's a little wind deflector, which actually, that kind of feels nice. One of the nice options on the infotainment center, there's a little camera button, and you can hit that and it'll actually show a front-facing camera. Because this is an SUV and you're higher up off the ground than, say, a regular sedan, there's actually a camera in front so you can better see in front of you. Another really cool feature of the Rogue is that it has a 360-degree view camera. Like I mentioned earlier, there is that camera where you can see in front of you for smaller objects that might be in front of the car, but if you go into the infotainment center, you can actually get a bird's eye view of the car using the cameras that are around the Rogue. So one of the first things I noticed about this specific Rogue is that the Nissan logo looks kind of weird out front. And that's for the ProPilot Assist. This Rogue is outfitted with ProPilot Assist. Now, it's not full autonomous driving. It's not a Tesla where it'll turn and do everything for you. But what it will do is you set a following distance to the car ahead of you, and it'll maintain that distance, as well as it'll stop. And on the Rogues, it'll actually start again from a stoplight. So all you do to set that is you hit this blue icon on the steering wheel, and once you're at a good following distance that you are comfortable with, you hit set. It's stopping itself. I still am not used to self-driving cars. So now I'm not doing anything. So while this isn't a full autonomous vehicle, it's a huge step up, especially considering the price. This Rogue is currently listed for $36,000. So the fact that it has a autopilot feature, a sort of autopilot features, not full, but it has the groundworks for one at $36,000 is really impressive. That's a huge jump down from a Tesla who's asking $145,000 for full autonomy. So that's why I said earlier that we'd be talking about that middle screen, because right now it actually shows my vehicle and it shows my cruising distance. If any cars come in front of me, it'll show me them and that sort of thing. Now, as you guys can see, this Rogue is in a black color, but if you're looking to buy a Rogue, I would highly suggest looking at their orange. It looks almost nostalgic of the 350Z. Back in the day, the 350Z was known for coming in this sort of burnt orange, and they put that very similar color on the Rogues, and I think they look fantastic. So if you have a chance, seriously check out the burnt orange Rogue because it looks good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope you guys learned something about the 2018 Nissan Rogue SL. If you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.